Hello, welcome to the Sunnydale Diaries, a podcast where I, Sean,
And I'm Melanie.
watch and discuss every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Do I say that the same way every single time? And I'm Melanie.
No, a little bit of variety, I
And
think.
I'm Melanie.
Just do a couple.
I.
I'll piece the base one in.
MC Melly Mel. All right.
So if you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you are coming back to listen to another episode, thank you for coming back. Please leave us a review or a rating on your podcast platform of choice. And if you have anything that you want to share with us, you can always email us at thesunnydalediaries@gmail.com.
That's right.
So Melanie and I have been to a few, they used to be just more like comic book conventions or sci-fi conventions, but now they're more like pop culture
Everything
conventions.
conventions.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
were at Dragon Con 2 weeks ago.
I was.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was awesome in the true sense of that word, awesome. It was so humongous. I think I read that it was like 75,000 people
Wow.
there, spread out down over downtown Atlanta, over 5 hotels, and then 2 other buildings. And so every day we would get up and walk down the hill from our hotel to wherever we were going. And then at night, just walk back up the hill to our hotel. I was very sore.
I'm sure.
Not a lot of walking. We got good steps in, but it was really good. We saw a lot of great costumes. We saw celebrities. We did some panels. We went to an 80s prom. Saw some puppets
Mm-hmm.
and met Seth Green. That was the whole reason I was going.
And you got an autograph with him.
I got
You
an
got
autograph
a
of him.
video.
Oh,
Oh, right there. You got it.
yep,
Nice.
yep. And then the next day, we had our picture taken. These are all on our socials.
Yeah.
But yeah, meeting him was kind of funny because my friend and I were just kind of wandering around and we just kind of stumbled upon the convention room that was set up as they call it the Walk of Fame. And we were like, what's in that room? And then I peeked in and I think I saw Elijah Wood at a table. I was like, oh my God, that's the celebrities. We have to go in. And so we kind of wandered in and we saw Elijah Wood, some of the other hobbits. We saw
Hobbitses.
the Weasley twins and Neville. And then Seth Green was right next to them. And there wasn't a big, huge line or anything. I was really surprised. I was like, oh my God, let's go. I hadn't planned on doing that. And it was money I hadn't planned on spending because, they charge for everything. So um, I got went up and met him and talked to him for a minute and got the autograph. And then we did a little video for you.
Which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
And I don't think I realized until I saw you last weekend that you paid for that, which I mean made it even more. I
They
mean,
charge for
it was
everything. I'm telling you, selfie. And so that was good. It was good that he did that video instead of just a quick selfie. But he was very nice.
yeah.
And so can I tell my story? I already told Sean this story, but this is kind of funny. That I told him about our podcast, and then I think I gave him a sticker. I'm not sure, but anyway, I said, "Oh, so this was interesting. I was looking at your IMDb and saw that your first credit was Mr. Merlin, which was an early mid '80s show with Bernard Hughes playing Mr. Merlin, who was actually Merlin the Wizard." But it was like '80s. I don't. It was a weird time, the '80s. But anyway, I loved that show. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was your first credit." And he said, "Really, it wasn't. That's not me. I don't know why it's listed on my IMDb. It wasn't me. It's some other random Jewish redheaded guy that they." So I said, "Oh my gosh, well." I don't know. Are you getting the residuals? Because that you could make out like a bandit with those Merlin residuals. And he laughed.
That was awesome.
He was very nice though, very personable, and I went to his panel, his Q&A, and he was very very nice and he seems like, as far as a celebrity could be, like normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Very cool.
It was good. It was good. We were very tired, and we came home a day earlier than we had planned. Um, but yeah, it was great.
What was the best cosplay that you saw? I know there's a lot, but
Let me get back. You start talking about Fan Expo, and I'm going to look at my photos, and I'll tell you.
all right. So the weekend that just passed, Melanie flew down to Florida, and I picked her up, and we went to Fanboy Expo, which is a much smaller convention than Dragon Con. The shirt is from there, and we met several cast members from Buffy, and also saw some from Angel. So we met Juliet Landau, who played Drusilla. We were first in line to get her autograph and say hello, and then we realized that we had to go somewhere else to get like our like official tickets because we just had like a 2D barcode, and they let us go back to the front of the line, which was very cool.
She and
She
her
was very
husband
sweet.
did.
That's right. Yeah, we were. Her husband was with her,
Mhm.
so we met him too. She was very nice. Um, out of everybody we met, I think she was my favorite.
She was really nice. She seemed very sweet.
Hmm. So yeah, we told her about the podcast. Melanie gave her some of her glass art that she creates. We that same day we met Charisma Carpenter, plays Cordelia. Talked about the green dress from the episode Homecoming and the spatula scene.
That was so funny. So yeah, Sean's like, yeah, we just watched. What was it?
Homecoming.
Homecoming. We just watched Homecoming. And she goes, oh, that's the one where I was wearing the green dress. Very impressive. That's impressive to remember that.
Yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, where you shanked that girl with the spatula. And then we asked her about we said, yeah, we have a question about that. You shanked her in the stomach. What's that about? Do you have to shank them just anywhere, or can you just stake them? Does it have to be in the heart? She said, I don't make the rules.
And yeah, that was fun. I don't. Did we plan on getting? Yeah, we did plan on
We
getting
didn't
that
plan on
one.
getting
Yeah.
her, or did we plan on meeting her? I know we
Yes.
we
Yeah.
pre-bought Juliet's autograph session. We didn't pre-buy
You're right.
Charisma Carpenter.
No, with the photo that we
Right.
did. So then, beside the two autographs that day, we got a photo done with Juliet Landau, and we also got one with Charisma Carpenter, David Boreanaz, Angel, and Julie Benz, Darla.
Yay! Who we didn't
The
meet, we did not meet Julie Benz, but we did sneak a couple pictures when we were in the autograph lines. She was right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, tiny.
Tiny. Juliet Landau and Julie Benz. Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
So skinny.
Hmm.
Man.
And then on Sunday, well, that as we were walking out of one of the two photos, Amber Benson, who plays Tara, who is a future character, walked by and smiled at me. So that was like a highlight for me.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal.
Um, who, and then this Sunday, again another actress we have not yet met yet, 2 episodes away, Emma Caulfield. We sprung for her autograph and a selfie.
Because this is after we went to the Buffy panel, right?
Yep.
And we liked her. Her what the stuff she was saying in the panel, and she seemed like a really cool person. So yeah. So then we were like, we're gonna go tomorrow and meet her.
And
Oh,
sorry,
uh,
sorry, look.
oh yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
have more
yeah.
autograph from her. She didn't have any real Buffy pictures.
She didn't. My hunch is she went through them all the day before because that we did that one on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
that's right.
hunch
There's my
because
carpet.
she had a ton of like WandaVision and Once Upon a Time on. So
Yeah.
my hunch is she went through them all on Saturday. Because
Oh,
how could
maybe.
how could you come to a convention with all these other Buffy actors and not
Maybe.
have a lot of Buffy?
Maybe.
So that's
I don't
my
know. I don't know.
hunch.
And
Yeah.
then we did not wait in the line to meet Boreanaz for autograph because the line was crazy. We
I would
even
say
got
easily.
passes. Our passes let us in a half an hour before general admission. And even like as soon as we got in there, his line was long.
Even I would say like his was probably like 10 times longer than anybody else's
Oh
line.
yeah, easily.
Like, I would say any other line that we got into, if we would have just walked up and waited on the line, it would have been 20 minutes. His would have been hours.
Or yeah, it was really long. But like you said, because he's got 3 big shows,
Yeah.
4 big shows.
Or really, if you count Angel, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
we did not meet Amber Benson,
Right.
who seems, based on the panel and her mannerisms and stuff at the table, that we saw and on the panel, seems like she would be a really cool person, like a normal person, or
Yeah. I would just like to talk with her.
yes,
Yeah.
she's probably fun to talk to.
Mhm.
So we did meet her. We did not meet Boreanaz. We didn't meet Julie Benz, and we did not meet the rando guy that was there, and he was in one episode. But
I
it
can't even.
ticked Sean off so much because he was
I,
on the Buffy panel, and Sean was like, he was in one episode.
he was in one episode of Buffy. He had a much bigger arc on Angel, but in my opinion, he didn't belong in the Buffy panel. One. I mean, I don't make the rules. One episode.
You and Charisma Carpenter don't make the rules.
Jason Bear, who is also
Oh
in
yeah,
one episode of Buffy, he was in Lie to Me as Ford. We didn't talk to him, but we saw him.
yeah.
Yeah, so we went to the panel, like Melanie said. Melanie asked the group a question.
I was very
Uh,
brave.
yes, and I recorded it, and we'll release that as a little mini episode.
Mhm.
I thought of a question, and as I was about to get up and ask it, the moderator's like, "No more questions."
Oh yeah.
So
What was your
yeah.
question going to be?
So there's a musical episode
Yeah.
in the
Oh
future,
yeah.
and I wanted to ask the people who were not in the musical episode, what would your character have sung about,
Oh,
and like what kind of song would it have been?
yeah. It's a good one.
So next
It's a good
next
one.
one that we attend, I'll be asking that
All
question.
right. Because we decided that now that we both live in different states, that this is going to be how we're going to see each other. We're just going to go to different conventions and events together, travel all over the world
And at
for
first I was like,
Buffy
well, how many?
content. Just for you
At
guys.
first I was thinking or how many more people could there be? But there's James Marsters,
Oh yeah.
and there is. I mean, there's Sarah Michelle Gellar, which I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
Come on,
someday,
Sean.
someday.
If rando guy number 4 from one episode is going to be there, and Ford is going to be there, look at who else.
No,
Everybody.
I agree. And so there's we got 4.5 more seasons. Like there's a
Georgia,
lot more.
Georgia, you could be at one of these conventions.
She
You
could just
could
buy
be
her
on a
own booth.
panel.
Yeah.
I will say, let me
So
just tell another. It's a Dragon Con story, and it's not Buffy, but it was really funny. Speaking of panels and the people that are on the panels, we went to a panel about the show Silo. And for those of you who don't know, Silo, the show that was on Amazon Prime, I think,
Apple TV.
Apple TV, is based on a book series by Hugh Howey. And so the panel was supposed to be about how the adaptation worked out. Was it true to the books, or was it better, worse, whatever? It was called The Secrets of the Silo. And so my friend and I went, and we were sitting there. 20 minutes in, he goes, "Where's the secrets? There's no secrets." It was basically just book club for people who loved the TV show Silo. And there was one girl on the panel, and they get to her because they're like, "What is the show?" Kind of like they did the Buffy thing. "What did it mean to you?" And she was like, "Well, I don't think I finished reading the books." We were like, "The panel is supposed to be about the show versus the books. What do you mean?" So we hypothesized that she just kind of rolled in there and didn't know where to sit, so she sat at the table with the panelists. Anybody could be on a panel.
Apparently, yeah.
So at the end of Fanboy Expo, we went to Juliet Landau's. She was recording an episode of her podcast that we were
Mhm.
able to attend. Us and 100 of our closest friends, and she got fans, randomly to go up on the stage, which was kind of cool. And they had a really good discussion. They went around to each person and asked them what the show meant to them, and if
if you could get a tattoo of a line of dialogue from Buffy, what would it
So
be?
this was funny because when we went up to meet her, she was telling us about this, that they were going to do this, and she asked that, and Sean pulled up his sleeve to show her that he already had a tattoo, which somebody else shared that quote that they would get that
Yeah,
tattoo.
I thought that was it. I thought that was my in. I did not get
I know,
picked.
because she saw that and then she was like, "Oh, what are your names again?" She put a little note next to our names in their notepad, and we were like, "Oh, we're so in." No, but and then so yeah, so that was interesting listening to her podcast, and I did start listening to the first episode of her podcast and while I was driving somewhere, and I feel like I have to listen to it when I can devote my attention to it.
Focus.
Yeah, when I can focus. I can't do that. Listen to that stuff that requires focus like that while I'm
No.
driving.
I mentioned there was one that I've been listening to, and it's 4 people. It's about that Throne of Glass series of books. But like the last episode they did was 3 hours long. Like literally like
Wow.
three. I had it on while I was working here in the living room yesterday. I had it on, but it was really just more like background noise because I can't give up three
3
hours.
hours. I don't know that I can focus on anything for 3 hours.
No,
That's a long time.
but we definitely had fun. I would go back to that one. Depending on who was there. Um, Maybe not do the 2 days,
It was
but
really, really small. We got, like I said, we got in a half an hour early, and so we walked that vendor floor at least 4 or 5 times in the half hour we had.
mhm,
Well, and they did have, I will say, they did have a lot more Buffy merch available than I saw at Dragon Con in the vendors area, which I was very
mhm,
surprised they didn't have more Buffy stuff. And this was they were good at this one. The vendors put their Buffy stuff front and center, and also the three of the people from Willy Wonka, the
yep,
original one, were there, and they had Willy Wonka stuff also. So that was pretty smart.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wish
Know
I would
your
have done that
audience.
Dragon Con.
Yeah, yeah. This was my purchase. My crochet. Ooh,
Oh, it's so
those are more
cute,
wonky.
little
Yeah,
cuter.
his little crochet cubert.
It's so
Love this little
cute.
guy. Yeah. All right. Are you ready to get into Revelations?
Yes, after I tell you the costumes that I enjoyed the most at
Oh
Dragon
yes,
Con.
yes, yes. Yep.
And I don't know who's gonna even know this, and this is why I liked them so much. They were throwbacks. One was Klinger from MASH. We ran into him on our first day there, early afternoon, and I stopped him on the street and I said, "Do people recognize who you are?" And he said, "Oh yeah, like a lot of people. There was a MASH group photo shoot, I guess." And he said, "I have 8 outfits. This is my second outfit." And so it became kind of a fun game to kind of seek him out during the days, and see what costume he was wearing. So that was good. I got one photo with him. And then another one was Endora from Bewitched, which was really good.
Yeah, you showed me
And
that picture. That was good.
something that they do, and I would love to do this, and maybe you and I could do this someday because I'm sure we'll encounter an opportunity. Mrs. Roper from Three's Company, they had a Mrs. Roper bar crawl. Everybody, and they had a big group photo shoot, and there had to have been at least 300 of these people, men and women, with the big red wig and
Necklaces.
muumuus.
Yeah. I think they've done that in St. Pete. That
Oh,
sounds very
how
familiar.
fun is that? And
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yes.
Sign me up. All
All
right.
right. Revelation.
Revelations.
Yep.
Season 3, episode 7.
Start out with Xander and Willow acting awkwardly with each other.
So awkward. I hate
It's
it.
bad.
Oh,
It's
that was
bad.
the other thing I told Seth Green when I was talking about the podcast. I'm like, yeah, so we're on season 3 and you just got cheated on. And I don't like it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to break your heart. I was like, yes.
Even when I was rewatching this one, I was just like, I hate it. I hate it so
Ugh.
much. I texted you that.
Do you think, I
Wow,
mean, do
not
you
so good.
think it's true to their characters? Do you think, I mean, obviously it's true to their characters, it's in the show. Do you think it makes sense that they wrote this arc?
I do.
That it really
I
would have happened that way?
I
Should have
think
happened that way?
so. I think two best friends growing up together in that awkward teenage, well, they're in 12th grade now, 12th grade time frame.
I guess, and she's had it for him for a long time.
Hmm. And I mean, looking at linoleum makes him want to have sex. He said that.
Yes.
So I believe it.
All right.
I don't like it, but I
I
believe
don't
it.
like it. All right.
They're talking. They're at the Bronze, I believe.
Yes. Even Cordelia's like, why are you guys so hyper? What is going on with you? Because we touched
I
fingers.
I did like Oz's. He had a gold and black plaid jacket that he was
Yeah.
wearing.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yes.
Then they start talking just about Buffy's secret boyfriend.
Let's talk about Buffy. Yep.
Yeah. And then Buffy shows up. She's like, "What secret boyfriend?" And she said, "Well, she has somebody that she's going to go see, and it's Faith."
It's Faith. Faith is still
Yeah.
there. Cut to the vampire fight in the cemetery, and
Mm-hmm.
Giles just sitting on the bench watching them,
Yep. Yep.
helpful as ever.
Two vampires attacking.
Yeah, it was pretty good synchronized slaying,
Yeah. Double
right?
penetration.
Double penetration. It was, and the stakes both came out.
Yep, because they're holding
Stake
on to them.
watch.
Yep.
And then some
I
random
don't think they
lady
ever
shows
showed
up. What?
my little Faith.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
okay. And then the random lady shows up, but it's not random lady. It's Gwendolyn Post, Mrs. Gwendolyn
Faith
Post,
knew.
Mrs.
That implies that there is a Mister Post.
It does.
I would love to know who she was married to.
She's divorced.
That's what I was
She's
thinking. Yeah.
divorced or
Yeah.
widowed.
Yeah.
Widowed.
Faith knew watcher, and then we get credits.
Yes, credits. Then we're in the library, and Buffy is wearing this black beanie. Was she wearing? She was wearing it in the cemetery too, right? This
I don't
black,
think so.
like a
No,
teeny
I don't
weeny
think so.
beanie. Okay,
Uh-uh.
all right. Well, she's wearing it now, and it's
And I
bedazzled.
thought, yeah, I thought the bedazzling spelled out, I don't know if it's pronounced Bebe, Bebe, which is like
Oh,
a brand. I
oh
thought
no.
it was, in my head, that's what it was, but
Oh,
no, it says bomb,
yeah, bomb,
Bomb.
bomb,
Yeah,
bomb. Because she's the bomb.
she is. Yeah.
Yes, this is black teeny weeny beanie, and then her little pink top,
Yes.
like edgy but soft. She's
Yep.
complicated. And then Mrs. Post is there, and she's very judgy about Giles,
Mm-hmm.
like very
Just,
snobby and snooty. Like, where's the rest of your books? It's like, are you kidding me? He's got a freaking library full of books. There's no actual school books in here.
that's very true.
This is all
Yeah, yeah,
demonology
very, very
and
true.
occult stuff.
We find out about a demon named Lagos,
Yes,
and he's looking for the glove of Myhnegon.
Myhnegon.
Hmm.
Poor
There's
old
an H
Michael.
in there.
Finnegan, Finnegan, begin again.
We find out that there's 12 cemeteries within the city limits.
It's like Florida with their golf courses.
That's like one of those good pieces of Buffy trivia. How many cemeteries are there in the
Oh,
cities?
we found out that Juliet Landau, one of the things she's doing on her podcast is she has a Buffy fanatic trivia. That would be a good one on her trivia. We should
Yes.
suggest that as a question. Because now that
I
we're
like
like
that idea.
this, with her, DMing back and forth and such.
See, that's the kind of stuff, though. Like, it doesn't matter what show it is. I just don't retain that stuff.
Yeah.
Like her. Like, I feel like I finally have Buffy's address in my head,
Yeah.
only because I feel like we've talked about it a lot here. But like, that's the kind of stuff that just doesn't stick. And that's the kind of stuff.
Sean and I went to Friends trivia once, and we thought we were gonna just walk away with that trophy, man.
We did not.
No, we learned quickly.
What is this?
Oh, what is this
Uh,
trivia?
my next note is more Tai Chi in the freaking sunlight.
Oh, in the sunlight,
So
I wrote Buffy and Shirtless Angel essay. That's what I'm gonna call him from now on. Essay.
okay, oh sure, this
Are doing
angel.
some
Got
Tai
it.
Chi together with touchy feelies.
I mean, the sun is clearly up now. It's not. The rays are not directly on
I
him,
didn't even notice that.
but it's daytime. Like
Yeah.
not even like dusk.
Yeah.
It bothered me.
Yeah.
Um, Buffy mentioned something about it's another Tuesday night in Sunnydale, and Buffy aired on Tuesday nights. It's
Oh.
not the only Tuesday reference that we'll see, but every time they do it,
You think
I
that's
love it.
intentional?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh. Wow, that's giving
It's
them a lot of
always like
credit.
Must Be Tuesday or something like
Okay, all right. See you next Tuesday.
that. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's what
That's
Buffy
all I
says.
have
That's
about
what
that
Buffy
scene.
says to Joyce when she's leaving the house. See you next Tuesday, Joyce. Okay, so anyway, so they're doing the Tai Chi and they're not kissing. They want to
Mm-mm.
kiss. Um,
Yeah.
Angel finally puts on his shirt and he knows who Lagos is, but he doesn't say anything except for be careful.
Then we go to the library next.
Yes.
I really like Xander. How he had a blue and brown, like kind of striped, but the stripes were made out of Paisley's
Okay.
shirt. I
Okay.
really liked it. I
All
thought it
right.
looked very good on him. I liked it.
There's somebody I've seen on well, when I had TikTok, on TikTok, and she has episode authentic Buffy outfits. So I
Hmm.
wonder if you can find that shirt somewhere.
I am going to
I'm
look.
making a note. Sean Christmas gift.
You always find the best gifts. I love it.
Season
So
3, episode 7, Xander shirt.
in the library with a candlestick,
Stripes, Paisley,
blue and brown.
blue and brown. All right, you guys, we're on it.
Willow has a headache because they've been doing all this research.
Yes.
And Xander rubs her temples, and then the Willow Xander music starts playing. And it was like, oh.
Yes.
And then there was a note about Buffy boinking the undead.
Yes, yes. The Buffy and Faith are walking, and Faith says, "I've dated losers, but you boinked the undead. What was that like?" Oh, she's classy as ever, that Faith.
That is very true. That is the word to describe her as classy. Okay, quick,
And then
quick
Faith is
tangent.
going to go on her own to Shady Hill to check things out there.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the 12 cemeteries.
Quick tangent when you said classy.
Yeah.
Uh, the job I used to have, HR made a video about the dress code, kind of
Yeah.
like a what to wear, what not to wear thing. And at the very end, the girl from HR, who used to be an NFL cheerleader,
Oh, God.
she signed off with "Stay classy" and then
Oh,
the name of the company, just like that, with the finger pointing at her. So when you said
oh
classy, I was
no.
like,
No. Oh, my God. Ugh. Faith goes to Shady Hill and she hears some rustling and some scraping, and a tomb cover kind of falls to the ground.
mm-hmm,
And then she finds who I was like, what is this random vampire? No, it's Lagos,
right,
and he's rifling through the tomb. And they fight, and she actually loses, and
mm-hmm,
he runs away. Then we go Xander, and he's at Restfield Cemetery. And he sees Angel leaving a crypt with something in his hand.
right.
And
Okay.
then Xander follows Angel back to the mansion and sees Angel and Buffy making out.
Yeah, they're not just kissing; like it is hardcore.
Full on macking.
Yes.
Even though Buffy is like pulls away and she's like, "What are we doing? What are you doing? Shame on you!" Which I'm like, "What shame on him? Why?" When he got pushed into the portal, they both said, "I love you."
Yep.
Then he came back. She's single.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it has to do with the fact that he killed a bunch of people. But
Yeah. Have some fun.
he's dead,
Live,
undead.
yeah.
He's hot.
Live for today,
Just
because tomorrow
psh,
you might be dead.
there you go. And the next day you might be undead. You don't know.
Very true.
You don't know.
Um, Angel got the glove. He shows it to Buffy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he tells her that once you put on the glove, it can never be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like the ruby slippers, but evil.
Evil ruby slippers.
Evil slippers. That's a song on our next album.
I should have got those Cheetos slippers from
The
that one
sock.
guy who had all the socks. Yeah.
There was a
I almost
there
bought
was a
them.
guy at Fan Expo, and he had every kind of sock you could imagine,
All
even
the name brand
Pop-Tarts
foods
ones.
on socks. Yep.
You should have. They
I
were
got a
only
lot.
$5 a pair.
Yeah.
Cheapo.
We go to the library then, and Mrs. Post says to Giles, "The pictures are fun to look at, but sometimes you should read the words." The
Are they
worst.
at the library or are they at his house?
You're right.
It's his
They're at the
house, right?
donut.
And he's making tea.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
his office looks a lot like his house. So then we're at the library and the gang is there and it's an intervention for Buffy.
yeah. Oz is wearing different gold and black plaid in this scene.
And Buffy is wearing her classic outfit of short skirt, dark black boots, pink top, and choker.
Yes.
They know about Angel. She's been keeping things from them. She's really not that great of a friend.
No.
Like,
No.
really, she keeps a lot from her friends, and she lies, and
Mhm.
she's just, I don't know, she's not a great friend.
Yeah.
I hope that changes, and eventually she learns to be a better friend. And she gets all defensive. She doesn't need an intervention. But they tell her their concerns, and then Giles is like, "All right, all of you, back to classes." Again, what is this school? What they
Yeah.
just leave class whenever they want and go hang out in the library,
They had an
and
intervention
he
pass.
encourages it. He's like, "Yeah, come on in. What? Oh, you're missing out on history? History mystery.
We've got books
Ah,
here you can read.
yeah."
Uh, two lines from that scene was one. I think it's Xander. Something about like if Angel's going to go psycho again the next time you give him a happy. And then Buffy said something like it was a mistake. And again, I think it was Xander. What, you just tripped and fell on his lips?
Yes.
There is a Will and Grace scene where the two of them were fighting. I think Will says to Grace, she had sex with somebody. Like, oh, he just fell into you over and over and over again.
Will, I am so sorry.
It was an accident.
An accident? Well, how does that work? Oh, sorry, I slipped and fell over and over and over again.
That's what I thought of
Yes.
when I read that.
Yeah.
And poor Willow, like trying to remain intervention focused with the "I feel" statements.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh.
And it ends like so. They all go back to class, and Buffy's talking to him, and he's just disappointed.
He lets her have it in a very civilized way, but he's like, yeah, he's not happy, and I think that works better on her, is more effective than the taking the offensive with the intervention.
Yeah, and
because
like
really, is the male, he is the adult figure in her life.
Absolutely, yeah. I forgot for a little bit that Angel tortured him for hours. And
right.
Hear this guy
yes. He says yes, and he did torture me for hours. Like, oh, that's right. Yeah. So that back to what I was saying. Why can't they be together? Well, yeah, that's a good reason. I mean, he did do some awful things, extenuating circumstances, but still. Yeah. So then we're at Faith's hotel, and Mrs. Post is there, and she asks Faith if she knows who the Spartans are. Do you know who the Spartans were? And she says, "Guys from Spart." Come on, Faith. Mrs. Post does not approve of Giles's methods. And she's going to be very hard on Faith, and Faith is probably going to hate her. And I'm like, well, I hate you already, so I'm ready to go patrol. Let's go.
And Post tells Faith that oh, everybody was there, talking to Buffy, but I guess I left you out of it.
Oh, sowing the seeds of discontent.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Faith.
Yeah, I do feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Then in the hallway of the school, Willow has her locker open. I pause. There is really not much of note in the locker. No pictures of Oz. I was surprised.
She can't stand to look at him because she's being unfaithful.
Yeah, I guess.
That's not it. I don't know why, but let's go with that. He probably has so many pictures of her in his locker. If he opened her locker, it's going to be like their band stuff and then all Willow and hearts. Yep. And yeah. Like just random pictures of her, like where she's not even looking at him. She's not posing. Yep. It's just candid moments where he just is in love with her. Hate it. So then, let's see. Oh, and so Buffy and Willow are talking, and Willow's like, but secrets are okay. They're not bad. They're good. It's okay to have secrets.
No.
Oh, Willow.
Xander's at the Bronze.
Yeah.
And Faith walks in, and then she finds out that Angel's back, and she's going to slay.
Yep. She's like, did she break a pool cue? Because I imagine she just breaks a pool cue and takes that. That's her stake. I'm out of here.
She's innovative.
Yeah. She's got bloodlust, is what it is.
Yeah.
Xander wants in. Xander's going to help her. Then Giles and Mrs. Post are at the library. Giles finally managed to find some information on the glove, even though, he's only got, 10,000 books on the subject. He found that in Tobin's Spirit Guide, which, here's some trivia for you, Sean. Do you know where else they've used Tobin's Spirit Guide?
I know I've heard it before, so tell me where.
Ghostbusters.
That's it. Yes. Nice.
Yes. So I wonder if that's a real book. Let me see.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to ask. Let's ask. Is Tobin's Spirit Guide a real book? No. It's a fictional book. Oh, I lost it. It's a fictional book in the Ghostbusters universe.
And Buffy.
So anyway, Giles says they can destroy the glove via living fire.
Yeah, living flame can be used to immolate, which we don't get a lot of immolation.
No, we don't.
And then Giles gets knocked out.
She knocks him out.
Did you see it coming?
Drink.
Did you did you have a feeling that she was going to be like, a bad guy?
No idea. But as the kids say, it clocks.
It does. Yep.
Yeah. Buffy and Willow are at the crypt. And again, Willow is still she has not stopped talking about how great secrets are since they left the hallway. Just the hallway, the whole walk to the cemetery. 3 hours later, she's still talking about how secrets are, keeping secrets is a lot of work. She's about to fess up. She's about to fess up.
I liked how they did. I want you to be the first to know there's a demon behind you. It's Lagos.
Yes, it's Lagos. And Buffy lops off his head.
Yeah.
And Willow does not fess up. It's kind of like that trope where two people are about to kiss. It's a very romantic scene, and then somebody walks in or something, and it gets interrupted, and then that person leaves, and they don't kiss.
Nope. In the library, Xander and Faith find Giles unconscious.
Yep.
Faith immediately jumps to conclusions and thinks it's Angel.
Yep.
I will give Xander a little bit of credit. He's, he was not as eager to go run out and kill Angel as she was. Not as quick,
right? Like I said, she's got that. She's definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Impetuous.
Spontaneous. That's the word.
Impetuous.
Better than spontaneous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She could use some training. Too bad her watcher is an evil bitch. So Angel, then we cut to Angel, and he's doing a ritual in Latin to make the living flame.
Yep, he got that magic flame powder that you have.
Oh yeah,
tossing it in.
Yeah. AKA cinnamon. And then we cut back to the library. Buffy and Willow are there, and they find the EMT with Giles and Xander. And Giles tells them, use the living flame. You use the living flame to destroy the glove. And now Xander also thinks it was Angel. Right? He's come around.
Yep.
Buffy's going to catch Faith, even though Faith has a 10-minute head start, and tells Xander and Willow to figure out how to destroy the glove.
At the Angel Mansion, Mrs. Post is there.
Yeah.
Mr. Giles sent me. I'm here to help.
Yep.
And she knocks out Angel.
Knocks him out. Yep, that's what she does. She just knocks him out. Breaks open the chest with the glove in it. And then Angel vamps out. Mm-hmm. Fights with Mrs. Post and knocks her out.
Yep. Then Faith and Angel are fighting then.
Yeah, this is the big fight scene of the episode.
Yeah. We get the plate glass window scene.
Plate glass moment of the episode, the PGM.
I was impressed that I caught it. Normally you're the one who catches it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so Buffy gets there just as Faith is going to stake Angel. That was not 10 minutes later. I don't know what she did. She had like a Segway or roller skates or something.
I'd love to see that. Not rollerblades, roller skates.
Yeah, roller skates.
They're just chugging down the street with a stake in her hand.
Yep.
If somebody is good, with graphic design, that can make that.
Yeah.
please create Buffy on roller skates with a steak in her hand.
Yeah.
And email it to us at thesunnydalediaries@gmail.com.
Yep. Love it.
Please.
So then Buffy and Faith Stump People have a big fight.
Yes.
They crash through the doors. And then Xander and Willow arrive. The fighting is going on. Mrs. Post gets the glove out of the chest, whacks Willow across the face.
With the glove.
With the glove.
That looks like it had a lot of sharp edges.
Oh, yeah, it did. It looked bad. And then she starts speaking Gaelic. I don't know it's Gaelic, but my closed captioning said it was Gaelic.
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought, oh, interesting.
And then
so not only does it go on as a glove, but then like there's like
chunk, 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 chunk.
Yeah, like what would you clips? I don't know what would you call those
tacks?
things, but
I don't know. Spikes.
Yeah, but they like into her skin.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't come off.
And then she can channel lightning.
Yes, she has the power of Grey Skull.
I was going to say she's channeling her inner Storm from X-Men.
Maybe.
Either way, we're both right.
Faith is like, "What's going on?" And Mrs. Post says, "This is my quote of the episode. Faith, a word of advice. You're an idiot." She's not wrong.
So she's shooting lightning. She's saying it's like Fapri.
More Gaelic, more lightning, right? The glove is powered on.
Mm-hmm.
More plate glass. This was a big plate glass episode. More plate glass. The skylight shatters from the glove lightning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Angel saves Willow from Mrs. Post.
Yep.
And then I say, somebody says, with the glove comes the power. Am I saying that? Or was that a quote? That's my note. With the glove comes the power.
The power. Post says it.
Okay. And then Buffy throws some glass from the skylight, slices off her arm with the glove. Lightning takes out Mrs. Post in a puff of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then the glove unclamps.
I thought that was cool if they did that. Like the individual clamps coming out.
That was gnarly, man. That was a gnarly shot.
And to the school lounge.
Little epilogue moment.
Yeah. Willow likes Angel again.
Yep.
Xander apologizes.
Yep.
We find out that Mrs. Post was a watcher, but she was kicked out of the council.
Yep.
She was going dark.
Giles would have known this, but he's not getting the memos.
Which, I mean, he has the only active Slayer.
Poor Giles.
Come on.
I know.
They're
all jealous.
council.
They're just jealous of him.
Get it together.
And then Buffy comes in, and then they share feelings. Yeah, and Xander says, "Seeing you kiss after everything that happened, I leaned toward the postal." He did.
He did. Yeah,
everybody is okay now except for Cordelia. She still has the little chip on her shoulder.
Can't blame her.
Yeah.
You can't.
Buffy exits to go do some more damage control, and that means she has to go talk to Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Faith again says she's 5x5.
It's real spotting.
I'll interpret. So yeah, okay. So she says I'm 5x5, and Buffy says I'll interpret that as good because nobody knows what that means. And Buffy says you can trust me. I know I kept secrets, but I didn't have a choice. And in parentheses, I said, of course you had a choice. You just chose wrong.
Yeah.
Faith doesn't want to hear it. Secrets. Buffy leaves. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
So I haven't seen this one in a few years. I forgot that it really ends with just Faith looking hurt
just
on the
sitting
bed.
alone in her room, in her dummy hotel room. Yep. The end.
That's it. I love when you do the Bruce Banner thing. So good.
I did look up 5x5. It was in the IMDb trivia.
Okay.
For this episode, and it says it's a military term used over radio communication to signify loud and clear, or signal and clarity. I don't know why they call it 5x5. This is why I'm not in the military.
Yeah. I asked it on one of the Buffy groups on Facebook, and I think I put it in the Discord too. And I got a variety of answers, but that one came up multiple times.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking like a high five. 5-5.
I don't know.
I know it's kind of weird.
Do we have any military people listening? Maybe you can explain that to us. Why loud and clear equates 5x5? I don't know.
5/5. Yeah. Yep.
So that is
So,
it.
yeah. How many steaks would you give Revelations?
I will give this one 3.25 steaks.
Okay.
So it's
Um,
3 steaks and a couple slivers.
yeah. A couple of toothpicks.
Yeah.
3.5 for me.
Okay.
I like the twist of Mrs. Post.
What's a twist?
I thought it was interesting. I'm sure the first time that I watched it, 26 years ago, I was just as surprised as I know I was just as surprised as you were
Yeah.
when that happened.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, it makes sense. Another Slayer, another Watcher. Oh, we got a new character, and oh,
Yeah.
she's a bitch, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite line?
Yeah, the one some advice, you're an idiot. A word of advice, you're an idiot.
That is good.
It
That is
reminds
good.
me of those anti-smoking ads where they're like a tip from a smoker. Then they're like a tip from a smoker. I had a stroke. I'm like, that is not a tip. What are you talking about? Or fortune cookies that aren't fortunes.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's not a word of advice.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's true.
It's funny and it's true.
But yeah.
What was your favorite line?
I think it's gonna go. It's gonna be Willow. I want you to be the first to know there's a demon behind you.
That's pretty good.
So up next is season 3, episode 8, Lover's Walk.
Lover's Walk.
Now I know you've seen it already.
Yes.
Did you think about what it would be before you watched it?
No idea. All I
Okay.
know is that you texted me and said, you need to give me a text play-by-play when you're watching that episode.
Yes.
And then I didn't because I think you had a headache or something that night. So I didn't want to
I
bother
did,
you.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you not doing that. But
Your phone
we'll
going,
get into
bing,
it more.
bing, bing.
There's one scene in particular. We'll get into it in that one.
All right.
You want to fill them in on the socials?
Let's talk about the socials. So we are everywhere except for X and Snapchat, and we are the Sunnydale Diaries everywhere. You, as Sean mentioned earlier, you can email us, thesunnydalediaries@gmail.com. You can find us on our website, thesunnydalediaries.com. And on our website, you can find links to all of our episodes, as well as a button to click and join our Discord server. Am I missing anything?
I think you got them all.
I asked that. I'm going to make like a little Post-it note and put it on my wall here, so I don't have to ask you that every episode.
I guess TikTok is considered social media.
Oh yeah, even though I'm not on TikTok, the podcast is still on TikTok because what a world we live in. You got to be on friggin' TikTok.
Well, and I think it's funny, just like the random stuff. Like the one video I made, there was a clip from Trixie and Katya's podcast about not the boar worms. And I made this stupid little 6-second clip of the tribute demon from Band Candy, which was snake worm-ish. And I put that sound over it. It has like over 20,000 views, which I just think is
so what's
hilarious.
funny about that, when we were at the Fan Expo, I took a picture with a lady that was wearing a Dingoes Ate My Baby t-shirt. And she said, oh, well, you should tag me in it because I'm viral on TikTok right now. I was like, oh, well, yeah, of course, give me your username and I'll definitely tag you. And she's like, oh, my son and I did this video of, some lip syncing things. And I was like, and we've got 5,000 watches. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then I went back and told Sean, I was all excited. And he was like, no, our boar worm one has like 10,000 right now. I was like, oh, I should have given her our information. I'm glad I didn't say that to her. Like, 5,000.
So yeah, we're on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like clips from the podcast, but I just try to throw in some, some ones that are current, just some random current things.
Yeah.
But it would be funny. But
I want to know of people that listen to our podcast, who knows what that boar worm sound is from? I mean, I know, and because I said something to you about it.
yes.
So I'm curious. Chime in. Do you know?
I think there are a lot of people who do, given from what I've seen.
Okay.
But I mean, before that, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
I was listening to that podcast when I was doing cardio at the gym, and it's like a good 90-second clip, and she's just saying it over and over, and I'm like cracking up. People probably looking at me thinking I'm crazy, so I'm just like laughing.
That's funny.
With people.
Can I tell one more story about our Fan Expo Buffy cast people?
Yeah.
When we met Emma Caulfield, and I said, I have no idea really who you are. I don't know who your character is yet, but Sean tells me I'm going to meet her in 1 or 2 episodes. I said, and she asked me how I'm enjoying the show, and I said, well, I tend to like the funnier episodes. So, and he thinks I'm going to like your character, so I'm assuming that your character is humorous. So I hope so. And then I said, so far my favorite episodes have been Band Candy and Ted. And she just looked at me and she's like, Ted? I said, yeah, the John Ritter episode where he's a robot. And she goes, Ted the movie? It was like a comedy of errors. I was like, Ted, the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show that you're on that I'm talking to you about. Why would I be talking to you about Ted the Teddy Bear movie?
She didn't watch season 2, apparently.
No, and then I was like, oh, she wasn't on the show yet. She doesn't know. I should have said, you should go check out that episode. It's pretty darn funny.
All right, so we'll be back next time with Lover's Walk.
Woohoo!
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.